Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and more, and a little bit of reality TV recaps. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out when we go live, when we have breaking news, or when we upload. I had to do a separate video talking about the final season of Pose on FX. As you know, Ryan Murphy is one of the executive producers that brought this amazing show, reliving the high life of the 80s and 90s in the ballroom scene, specifically around the LGBTQIA plus community. I have to say, growing up in New York City, I didn't grow up in the ballroom scene, but I heard about it. I remember the houses. I remember friends that were part of these houses and families. So seeing this played out on television, along with the nostalgia of the fashion, the nostalgia of old New York, and the nostalgia of the music has been amazing. So it was a big surprise when we reported that Pose was going to be ending after this third season, and that it would be an abbreviated season. Well, the premiere episodes came out on Sunday, and I wanted to do just a brief recap of some of my favorite moments and what I think so far of season 3. As I said, this is the final season and it's an abbreviated season. It'll only be about a month that we'll be able to celebrate these fine actors and actresses. And I have to say, the first episode really got me, especially where they are exploring, they've been exploring in the last couple of seasons, the AIDS epidemic and what it meant for so many people. And I know when I speak to older gay people that lived in New York City or lived during that time, there's a look that comes over them. And I can only imagine, especially now that we're living in this pandemic, which is very different because it was very secluded to one particular group. It was focused on one particular group is better wording. But there is this look of, remember then when people were just dropping like flies and no one knew what it was. At one point they really believed that it was a gay disease, as opposed to the large range of people that it was affecting during the time. So Pose really explores what that means for different people, what it meant for a character like Billy Porter's character, or what it means for a character like Blanca's character, or sorry, MJ Rodriguez's character, who really is the heart of the show. We fell in love with MJ's character, Blanca, season 1 and season 2. So far in season 3, I see where they're going. They're trying to give Blanca, some hope and some love. And also at the same time, I think they're telling the story of people that we didn't know back in that time that were a part of the trans community, that were in love with, cis men, you know what I mean? So it's nice to see that. And I love the character that they chose for Blanca. I was like, yes, give Blanca everything that she needs. But so far, in just episode 1 and 2, I'm not sure how I feel about where they're going with Blanca's character. It's still very early, but at the same time, it's a short season. So I understand maybe there is a rush to tell this story, and it's unfortunate that we have to do it in this way. Now, part of me feels like maybe they should have made this a movie as opposed to a final season where you're able to orchestrate this maybe a little bit differently. Still, the nostalgia of the 90s music that we're getting this season is amazing. The coverage of the O.J. Simpson trial. And I'm glad that they're doing it because they're also giving us the different perspectives within the people of color community on what there were some people that thought O.J. did it. There were some people, we're talking about police brutality now. No, this has been going on for a very long time. And these were conversations that the community, no matter if you were straight or gay, the community as a whole were having these conversations and their views of OJ. OJ was not really loved by the Black community because of various reasons. But I'm glad that they're intertwining these real moments along with this storyline. And of course, the ballroom. And as Carrie said in Sex and the City, New York City is a character in Pose. And I love any show, any movie with New York City as the backdrop or a part of the storyline. And I have to say, the characters are going through what they're going through. And it makes me wonder, when we reported on that Janet Mock story with the premiere party, I'll post a link in the description. So if you missed that story, why there might be some frustration behind the scenes on why this was the last season. I speculated that this was the last season partially because of cost. Filming a production like Pose is a lot of money. It's a timepiece. It's a lot of actors for the ballroom scene. It's, a lot of people involved in regards to a pandemic and making sure it's a COVID safe environment when you're doing these types of shows. So I speculated, but of course, in Hollywood, I'm sure there might be more. Ryan Murphy, please tell us. You probably won't, which is fine. But I have to say, episode 1 really got me. Cubby passing away, and for a second, I was like, wait, who is that? The transformation, the realities of the AIDS and HIV epidemic during that time. I was a baby during that time, so I didn't know the realities of that. So seeing it in this way, I have to say that really touched me. Even when I forgot the other character's name, I apologize, y'all. Getting back into the swing of things of Pose, the House of Khan that's going against everyone else this season. When he goes in and sees his friend, even though he and his friend had been disconnected, that got me. Look, that got me. In episode 2, and I've said this before, I've been doing quick little recaps on my social media. And Billy Porter, no matter what you feel about him outside of Pose, Billy Porter is a phenomenal actor and singer. And I understand why he has been celebrated the way he has for Pose, because he's bringing so many levels in regards to the emotion, to the realness. Can we talk about that scene, though, in episode 1 where the House of Khan comes in for their money and they fight against the council? See, this is where we get a little stereotypical, and I get it. You want, Pose is a mix of comedy, drama. That fight, that little food fight, I wish they would have made that a little bit more greasy, because I know there are a lot of hetero people that watch Pose, specifically females. I want them to know that I know plenty of gay guys that get down when it comes to fighting. To me, this just made it seem like, oh, this is what a lot of people view gay people as when they fight. No, I know a lot of gay guys and girls that get down when it comes to a fight. So I kind of wish they made that a little bit more brutal. I'm sorry. I wish they did, just to give us a little bit more realness. But it was funny. I get it. It was funny. Episode 2, we really explore more. And I'm not really talking about some of the other characters. And I do want to celebrate Elektra, the character Elektra. We need to give her own show. She also gives me levels. The same way I feel like Billy Porter needs to get all the awards, Elektra needs to get all the awards. I remember when and I apologize that I'm not remembering everyone's actual names, but I remember when she was Tyra Allure back in the day here in New York City during my club days. I remember Elektra being around there and having that same sass, and to see where she's come and what she's able to give. She really gives us that Dominique Devereaux essence. There really is this huge essence that we're getting from her there. And I'm happy to see it, but I want to see more of it in other ways and other platforms. So I'm excited to see what's to come with her career, but she's bringing it in these last 2 episodes of Pose, because we're getting the comedy, we're getting the motherhood. I'm glad that the 2 houses have come together. I'm glad there's no issues between her and Blanca, but maybe we will see how that will go. But I want to know, is that dead body still in the closet? And I want to ask one of the writers, is that based on a true story or a story they've heard before? Because I was like, that is dark. Pose has gotten dark before. And I want to know, are we going to get a little throwback or a little memory of our Angelica Ross character? That last season, I have to say, season 1 for me wasn't as great. But, when a show is finding its feet and building, I understand that. Season 2, and I understand why they were renewed so early, really found that essence of where they were going. So I was excited to see Pose at least get 4 and 5 seasons at the very least. And then I would be like, yes, we can finish off a story. So I do feel like now it's rushed, and it's a rushed season. It's an abbreviated season. But episode 2 of Pose was pretty good. It was pretty good. It wasn't the best, though. And as I said before, it does feel a little rushed. But Billy Porter, we're examining alcoholism. We're examining his own depression. We're seeing his friends die every other day. Why is Sandra Bernhard still in the show? I thought we canceled her. Anyways, I'll post that video in the comments, in the description area as well. Billy Porter is really, really bringing it. I do feel like the aha moments are becoming a little rushed because I don't feel in the real world that's what would happen in regards to it. But when he read all of them for Filth, when they had the intervention, that's when I was like, Billy Porter, that was amazing, because some of them try to do it and you're like, this is not believable. Poppy's character and Angel's character and her issues with drug addiction, and like there's certain parts where I'm just sort of like, this is a little too cheesy. This is a little too acted instead of really believable. It's not really invoking natural emotion for me. The other thing, as I said to you before, Billy's relationship with the younger man was interesting, but Billy's giving us so many levels of acting in this episode that's what stands out to me more. I do want to see more of the ballroom scene. I don't think Billy should have won in that ballroom scene competition. He shouldn't have won that. I'm sorry, he shouldn't have won that, but I get it. Look, we're telling a story, and then on some levels we have to let some of that go. But as always, I want to hear your comments in the comment section. What are you thinking of episode 1 and 2 of Pose? Also, let me know if you would like for me to do an actual recap live where you're able to call in and share your thoughts. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out when we have breaking news, when we go live, or when we upload.